Well, hi, we're back in the greenhouse again because this time we are going to be dealing with tomatoes. So in our collection today, we have 4 different types, and they are going to be tumbling toms for hanging baskets. They are also going to be Santa Victoria for standard plum tomatoes, which are a nice little cherry type tomato. And we have money makers, which are an old-fashioned favourite, medium-sized fruit. Until the frost, they will stay alive with you, so keep on growing those. And of course we have tomato Roma, and that is going to be a nice plum tomato for the kitchen. So if you want to know how we sow our tomato seeds, stay tuned. And in the greenhouse, it's a lot warmer, hence the fact we have arms because it's extremely warm. Anyway, back to what we're doing. Now, tomatoes. A lot of people don't realise how many different styles of tomatoes there are. It's around about 10 to 15,000 different styles or different types of tomato in the world. But here in England, we tend to keep to a bare minimum of what we know. If we like it, we do it again each year. And I'm afraid we do the same here as well. What we have is the money maker, normal sized tomato, nice for salads, etc. Tumble Tom. Now, tumbling Tom, it's a little red tomato. It's a cherry tomato, but it's mainly for baskets and tubs, things like that, so it can hang over it and mix it with the nasturtiums. One nasturtium in a hanging basket, one tumbling tom, and suddenly you've got a pretty display right the way through. Now, we also have, as I said earlier, the Santa Victoria, which is a fabulous little tasty cherry tomato. It's very disease resistant, so it is a good one to grow. And finally, plum tomatoes. Well, Roma do the plum tomatoes. It's very resistant to wilt, so that's very handy in a greenhouse, just in case things don't go to plan. They do like a full sun, but that's it really. They're the 4 we're going to do today, because what we've already started is our beef steak tomatoes. We put them in a couple of days ago, well, about a week ago now, and they're doing quite well. It was a case of get them started because they will be going outside, so I want to get them started before we start with the rest. Now then, out of that 10 to 15,000 different styles of tomato, there are 2 types. That's it, just 2 types: determinate and indeterminate. Now, what you might be saying is he talking about? Well, determinate are a compact, fixed. They grow to about 4 foot. They fruit for about 3 weeks, and then that's it. You just end up with lots and lots of leaves, and that is it. So when you're thinking, what shall I buy? Indeterminate is better, because determinate has a short spell. The tumbling tom is a determinate bushy habit, best outside, excellent source of vitamin C, all of that sort of thing, but they are determinate, so they only grow for around about 3 to 4 weeks, and then that's it. So whatever you crop in that nearly a month, you freeze them, because that's the only way you're going to keep them. Indeterminate, on the other hand, is like a vine, traditional vine type tomato. It grows well. They can grow like 6-7 feet up into the air, and you have to keep snipping the top off, take out any side shoots, etc., etc. And we all know the story there. Money maker, same thing. Indeterminate, does need support in the greenhouse like the plums do. It's an excellent source of vitamin C, as they all are. You can grow these from a warm kitchen windowsill or in a greenhouse, so I would say think about what you're doing. Now, the thing is, on the think about what you're doing, tomatoes take about 6 to 8 weeks to get to their full size. Now, if I grew all of these from end of February, beginning of March, by this point, we would have tomatoes everywhere. Hence the fact we tend to sow our tomatoes here in trays, and they are half trays. So 2 of those in a full tray, and that's it. We also start them early to mid-April, which does mean that we're cropping a few weeks later for the start of cropping. But it also means that we can then use the rest of the greenhouse over the next couple of months whilst the tomatoes are taking control. If you are thinking full-size indeterminate tomatoes, they will grow 6 foot. In fact, if you feed them well, they'll grow up to 12 foot, but you're going to need a big greenhouse. You can put them outside and then you can let them go as big as you want. Plum tomatoes, which we're doing today, is the Roma ones. Now, they are a good, if you like plum tomatoes and you want them for the kitchen, you can freeze these. You just take them whole, take off any bits and pieces from them, leave them whole, lay them out in a freezer, freeze them. They're there for cooking then. You can then just take 1 tomato, 2 tomatoes, whatever you want from the freezer, pop them in your bolognese or whatever you're going to do with them, and it's job done. These Roma tomatoes can produce up to about 150, 200 fruits. You treat them well, they'll treat you well. So that will be a good idea to think on. The Santa Victoria is a cherry plum. So it's small. It's a plum tomato, but it's a small cherry size. Now, they will grow quite quickly. And really, they're there for salads and things like that. You just pop them in and eat them as you go. Or in my case, I come into the greenhouse and eat them. Tumbling Tom, as I said before, it's a hanging basket tomato. It's a determinate tomato. It has a bushy habit. It's best outdoors in the hanging baskets. Obviously, you wouldn't have a hanging basket in the greenhouse, but never mind. Someone might ask the question. And you can just crop as you go. Nice little compact plant. And of course, moneymaker. The moneymaker is an indeterminate. Yet again, like those full-size plums, it will need support. So strings, etc. We'll go into that a little bit later on in another video where we are showing you how to grow them. At this point, we're just sowing the seed. So remember, 2 types: determinate, which is a fixed compact little tomato. It will never grow more than about 4 foot, fruits for about 3 weeks, and then it stops, and that's it. And indeterminate is, I suppose you could call it like a climber, but it doesn't grab onto anything. You have to keep tying it up. It's a vine, really. It produces fruit consistently throughout the summer. Once it starts producing, that's it. You'll be plucking those little tomatoes off quite regularly. Once the frost comes, that's it. That's the end of it. So let's get on to sowing. Right, now then, Moneymaker. Fothergills, nice little company. What we've done is we put our seed compost into a tray, a half tray, and we pop some water in the big tray, and we are putting 2 in there. We've had them in overnight, so the compost is soaking up, so there will be no need for watering after we've sown them. It will just be a case of put the seeds in and off we go. The fun starts. I would say, as you are buying your seeds, always check the date on the back. There is a best before date, and this one is December 2028, so we are well in date with that one. If the date that on the packet of seeds that you are buying is past the date of purchase, then don't buy it. You can if you wish, but remember, the further away from the best before date, the less chance you will have of getting a full crop. Now, these are in date. Lots of seeds. Always, when you're opening your seeds, put the packet over the top of the trays that you're going to sow them into, because if you end up spilling any, then you're spilling it into where they're going to go anyway, and you're okay. If you have them over something else, suddenly you'll get something growing in that other plant and it won't be what you're expecting. So take that in mind. What we have is a little selection. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 seeds. It is getting warm in here, isn't it? 16 seeds, which basically means, in theory, we're going to grow 16 tomatoes. Now there you go. One just fell in there. I will leave it because that's where it's going. Now then, here we go. We're going to do them in a nice, neat little pattern so that we know what's coming through is what we want. No, I didn't want 4 in one place. Thank you. If you do get 2 together, you'll have to separate them when you have your plants growing. But simple enough. Lay it on there. And there we go. Always open up the foil container. These foil containers keep your seeds nice and fresh, so if whatever your seeds are, if they come in these little foil containers, you know that they are good for the job that you want them to do. Now then, there you go. You see I ended up with 3 extra ones there, so that was good. Now what you do quite simply is lay them out, sow them with a little bit of moist compost, tap them down with a little piece of wood with a handle on it, make sure that they're not stuck to it, and that really is it. That's all there is to that one. So that's that one, and that is our Moneymaker. Label. Nearly forgot that we got label. Now then, the next one is going to be the Santa Victoria. Now, Santa Victoria, basically, it is disease resistant. It's an early maturing plant, so it will grow quite quickly, and you can harvest between June and October. So let's get in there and have a look. Date on the back, December 2028. So December 2028 means it's all nice and fresh. So these little ones here are now going to take the label out so I know what I'm doing. Tap them down, make sure that's in there, and we then listen to me waffling on as I'm trying to get the packet open. So there we go, the seeds. Now then, what have we got? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've got a dozen. Nice round dozen, not a baker's dozen. Well, it probably will, because there's probably something stuck in the foil container that I need to take out. But at this point, spread them out nicely so the new tomato baby seedlings have got lots of room to live by. And then see what we got. Well, we got one extra. There we go. Always nice. There we go. Get rid of that. Pop that somewhere safe and dispose of it later. Cup of tea time. Now then, label. And there's that one. The final one we're going to do is the tumbling toms. Same as before, open it up and get rid of the rubbish. Find foil container. Will it have foil container? I do hope it does have foil container, because they're always best if you have the foil container, because you know your seeds have been looked after. So let's get, there you are, label, there, bang, got it separated and open up. Now then, tumbling tums, or should I say tumbling toms. Open them up and get them out, and here they are. So out of here we go. What do we have? We have, I've just opened it right out, which means I've got to be very careful as to what I do. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 again. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Anything in there? No, all gone. Right, so there we go. We have the tumbling tums. Let's just, or should I say tumbling toms. I will get that right by the end of the video. We have our seeds there. Let's move our beefsteak tomatoes out of the way. We don't need those anymore. And we now have 2 trays. Now, what we're going to do is we'll have that one under there, keep it here nice, and the Santas go in there, Santa Victoria, so that goes with that one, and the aroma tomatoes, the plum tomatoes, yeah, and the money makers can go with them there. And that's all there is to it. All in all, that was quite straightforward. So let's have a bit more tea. It is getting warmer in here. Yes, that once the cloud starts to disappear, I think I'm going to cook myself, let alone a plum tomato. We're up to 37 at the moment with the door open. Drink my tea up. That is about it. Remember, thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe really important. Doesn't cost you anything, but it helps us know that we're doing the right thing. And any comments, if you've got any questions, etc., just ask. We'll answer them the best we can by showing you a video to answer your question. In the meantime, I'm going to start getting these up on the shelves, etc., and we will then see what happens. It will be good, but remember, one very important thing: keep on growing.